Hey, Shalom. Double honors to the apostles of GMS. Honest you brothers will be pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. I got this article right here, man. I must do some commentary on this article, read a little bit of it, and then that's gonna pretty much be it, man. Alright, real quick again. Alright, and what they got here as the title of the article is they got information warfare. Alright, now just that statement and alone, man, that touches on all kind of different things out here, man. Alright, the fact that you got information and the fact that you got disinformation. Alright, in what you see out here, right, in the immediate, right, I'll expound upon it, man, because not too long ago you had it to where Russia and America were seemingly enemies, but right now they're so-called partners in fighting ISIS. But we know through fighting ISIS and the so-called Arab Spring and so on and so forth by way of Al Pike, we know that was gonna amalgamate into World War III. So that's the information, man. Right? What's the disinformation? Disinformation is what you're seeing here. The fact that Russia's being accused of killing civilians in Syria. See, we having the word that obtained the word from the Most High, man. We have the unique skill only attributed to the elect. Lord's will be of the elect, right? But the elect have been given a unique skill, right, of deciphering the word, man. All right, that's why when you go into the scriptures and you read the book of it might be in the book of Rome, it might be the book of Romans, but I know it's in the book of Psalms. It says, "Let their tables become a snare." All right. In fact, when you go into the book of Isaiah, the 6th chapter and the 9th verse, it talks about let their eyes and their ears be heavy. What? Right? Talking about the 2/3. All right. The rest of Israel that you go out there, the 2/3 is going to be destroyed by way of the nuclear missiles that you're seeing. Right? Pretty much, what you're seeing here is the steps towards that. Okay. All right. See, they haven't been given the like the scripture says, rightly dividing the word of the truth, man. They haven't been given the information, the spirit to decipher the information, because we was always gonna have verse. He's gonna have information. Well, that's what the scripture also says. Stability, knowledge shall be the stability of that time. All right, and a lack of knowledge, well, you see that all the time, man. A lack of knowledge you see all the time. You see it with guys that fall out. All right, and they don't know whether they were going or not going, man. All right, a guy will come into the truth, all right, but before that he was a Christian, and he'll fall out of the truth, and he's the end of the last case of the man is worse than the case that before he even came into this truth, man. All right, because the Lord didn't impart that skill, all right, to where they was going to be able to decipher this truth, man. To where they was going to decipher what's information, what's disinformation, man. Alright? And that's how you know Esau, right through that statement alone, information warfare, that's how you know Esau, right, is playing those is playing using the media, which is all witchcraft. Right? He's using the media, right, to deceive the vast majority of the people of the earth, man. Alright, that's why you see a lot of assholes out here, man. That's so dumbfounded, and they purely trust what they see with their eyes. But what the Most High has important them to do is be able to see with their spiritual eyes. Alright, so it says Russia accused of killing civilians in Syria. Alright, so what does America do? We know America, through history, right, will form a so-called allegiance with their so-called enemies, right, from time to time, all right, and immediately after they'll call that enemy, they'll call that person the enemy. You're gonna see that pretty much in the near future with Iran. That's what that whole deal was about. All right, that was all the whole agenda in America signing that deal, so they can come off as the good guy. All right, you're seeing it now with Russia. All right, so America looks at the good people, but what all the people don't factor in is the fact that them guys out there, them ground troops, the people that form ISIS, right? That's just what the American government has created, man. Right? All that is what the American government has created. So it's like, well, it's like the American government is saying, yeah, we're with you, right? We're in support with you to fight against the terrorists that we've created, right? Not only that, these are the same terrorists that they created for what? For you can have an arms race within the Middle East. Alright, and that arms race ultimately is going to lead to World War III. We know that, man. We know that. Okay? And these are just hey, I try to bring out this information all the time, and sometimes it seems repetitive. But this is what's important. This is keeping the watch, man. All right, lest the day of the Lord should overtake you, man. All right, it says it didn't take long after Russia began its anti-terrorism bombing campaign for social medias to be flooded with evidence of civilian casualties. The claims, right, were readily repeated by Western mainstream media. So the Russian Defense Ministry reported that it conducted 20 sorties, right, of the first day of the Syrian operation and bombed 8 targets in Syria, right, including weapons and fuel depots and the command centers of the Islamic State, right, groups. All targets were far from urban areas, the ministry stressed. Since virtually simultaneously, reports started surfacing on social media claiming Russia is not attacking terrorists. Instead, it's claimed Russian warplanes attacked residential areas, right, killing dozens of civilians. Now, what does that sound like, man? Right? What does that sound like? What was so-called Saddam Hussein doing? Saddam Hussein, they said he had weapons of mass destruction, but Assad, what was they saying that Assad was doing? They said Assad was killing the civilians, man. Right? And they would have showed you pictures of babies, and they always like to show them pictures of children, man. They love to do that, man. Right? Because that plays on the heartstrings of all the people, man. Everyone on earth. What's your main agenda? People say, oh, I'm gonna go work and do. No, man. Your main agenda is to bring forth seed, man. To carry on the line, man. Essentially, that's your notwithstanding the scripture says the duty of a man is to fulfill the word and commandment of the Most High. All right, but on a very elementary basis, what you do when you exist, man. You carry on existing by living through your children's children. All right, when you go into the scriptures, it says we come in the second and third generation. All right. Alright, so it says, so when they show you the pictures of them children on the screen, man, and you see them crisis actors, man, and them children, some of them children, when they did the Ebola scare, man, some of them children, them Hamitic children, man, they had no skill, man, they had no acting skill, man. Dude just walked in the street and then just dropped dead, man. Hey, but you dumb fucks, man, you bought that, man. Man, if I could pull up the video, you would see exactly what I'm talking about. They had a little Hamitic boy, man, right? He's walking in the middle of the street. And then he's just hey, man, I'm thinking about it now, man. I'm laughing, man, because the shit was funny, man. They played that on TV, man. They played that on your so-called mainstream media. So what? You're telling me the camera guy didn't help the kid? Or you're telling me they timed it just so perfectly? They were shooting this dude that he fell over when he was shooting it. I don't believe so, man. So you got a lot of crisis actors out there, all right? You got a lot of people that just want to, just gonna benefit by way of America, going out there into Syria. So they're looking for an easy ride out of it, man. And the vast majority of the people that you see crossing the borders, man, they're all kitted out. They go to all the latest iPhones and so on and so forth. Why? Going to show you that's all madness, man. What are they running from if you got the latest kits and all of that, man? All right. So it says virtually simultaneously reports started surfacing on social media claiming that Russia is not attacking terrorists. Instead, it's claimed Russian warplanes attacked residential areas, killing dozens, and others said that there was no IS presence in the attack areas and the positions they held by moderate rebels, man. And I'm not gonna get into too into it, man. All right, hey, there's a picture of them children again, man. Right, they throw them things in there, man. Right, they throw them things in there for you, man, to tug on your heartstrings. But you can see it, same thing that we see all the time, man. All right, but ultimately, man, it's gonna lead to World War III, and that's what we're aiming for. That's what we're gonna hasten. That's what we're gonna keep on pushing here at GMS, man. Pretty much with that, I'm gonna sign out and say double honors to the apostles of GMS, ownership officers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.